Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm here against my pillow with my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia. How you doing today, babe?
I feel good. I had a little insomnia last night.
You were rolling around all through in the bed all night long,
I don't know what was on my mind, but I'm happy it's Friday.
and you feel like a sweaty baby.
I did. I really did. I'm
Just
sorry. You were really patient with me.
that's the part of marriage they don't tell you about. Sleeping next to the sweaty baby who won't go to sleep.
I was wiggly,
You were wiggly.
but you're normally wiggly,
I am. That's so true.
so it was my turn.
That is so true.
But how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was thinking about our topic today. And by the way, everybody, give me a yes in the chat if you can hear us okay. Let us know if everything's coming through all right. And later on, we'll be doing the financial consciousness training that we do every morning at 10 Eastern. I'll give you guys a link if you want to join us. So, Issa Rae, you and I were intrigued by this story with Issa Rae. And she basically is kind of mad at Hollywood. She so in is that Envy Warren? Is that how I said it? Envy? I hope I said that right. Happy Friday to you too. Yeah, so she's basically mad at Hollywood because HBO Max they canceled her show. She had this show called Rap Shit.
And it was canceled.
Yeah, they canceled it, and so she seems pretty furious about it.
Hmm. I don't know. It's like you kind of wonder if well, I want to know what you think. Do you think she's biting the hand that feeds her?
Um, yeah, but maybe she can get away with it. She's done very well for herself in Hollywood, and I'll share a quote of what she said. She's been doing a lot of interviews about Hollywood. I think really more so threatening to go independent. This is what I've been picking up as far as general theme. She's threatening to go independent, and also she's saying that Hollywood is full of a bunch of old white people who don't have any diversity. They are losing eyeballs to other platforms like TikTok because they don't have creativity. In fact, let me pull one of her
Oh.
quotes up. She says, "You see so many black shows get canceled. You're seeing so many executives, especially on the DEI side, diversity, equity, and inclusion, get canned." She recently said in a Porter interview, "You're seeing very, very clearly now that our stories are less of a priority. It's made me take more steps to try to be independent down the line if I have to."
Wow. So, didn't she start independent? Isn't that how
Yeah,
she got her start? It's just
yeah,
like, you know what? I'm gonna create this YouTube channel. I got something to say, and I'm gonna say it.
yeah. And she did a good job with that.
So she has some integrity. Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna serve her in this industry.
You think so?
Her integrity? She's got a
Hmm.
lot of integrity. It sounds as if she does. That's not gonna work in Hollywood. You gotta compromise yourself a little bit
Well,
in order to make it.
well, it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious. I don't know Issa Rae, but I'd be curious to talk to her and find out what's going on. Like, what is your game plan? What's the strategy here with all the interviews? Usually,
Mm-hmm.
when celebrities do a lot of interviews like that,
They already have a solution.
well, they have a solution and they have an agenda, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay. Agendas are good, most of the time, except for when they're not. But I don't think Issa Rae has any negative agenda. I think her agenda is to say that this DEI train, when you've decided that diversity no longer matters. I remember
Mm-hmm.
after they, pretty much slaughtered DEI, a lot of companies started getting rid of their diversity mission. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
universities, didn't they don't care if you're black anymore on the application, and that's very upsetting. Now, I mean, my position, I'm the Dr. Claude Anderson camp where I never thought diversity, equity, and inclusion was going to be sustainable for black people anyway, because white people don't have enough jobs for the masses of black people. Black people will never have any strength if we don't ever have the courage to become independent.
Mm-hmm.
If we're always dependent, then that pretty much is the opposite of freedom.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she has the courage to be independent. It sounds
She
like she
said
has that
it
courage.
sounds like she's making a threat. She said, "I'll."
Um,
She said, "I'll go independent if I have to."
Dang, what conversation did she have? She sat at a table that was uncomfortable for her. She was somewhere, somehow, that was very uncomfortable. I'm wondering, because she's got a lot of friends in the entertainment. So I'm wondering if they are having a lot of offline conversations among each other. And maybe
Mhm.
this is finally the attempt to really build something on their own, which would be marvelous.
Yeah,
Marvelous.
yeah. Well, actually, before we move on, let us know if you can hear us. Okay. Also, could you please hit the thumbs up button, everybody, really quick? Thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're listening to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and this is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. Dr. Alicia is a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. I am a finance professor, and so if you'd like to see what Dr. Alicia does, she sees clients on an individual basis. She sees families, couples, etc. Go to coachingwithdralicia.com because we believe that undiagnosed, untreated trauma is one of the big problems in our community. So if you want to heal and you want to grow, reach out to coachingwithdralicia.com. Okay, so as you hit the thumbs up button, let's go back to the topic. So we're talking about Issa Rae, and Issa Rae is kind of having this little Hollywood revolt where she's been talking tough, talking big, saying that she's threatening to leave, and it's all about Hollywood's lack of commitment to diversity, their lack of commitment to telling Black stories, their lack of creativity when it comes to diversity, diverse stories. Now, I'm gonna ask y'all a question, then I want my wife to talk while you all answer. Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Do you consider Hollywood to be historically racist? Give me a yes if you think that the writing's always been on the wall, if there's a long track record of racism, if you are surprised anybody would expect anything other than racist Hollywood. And give me a no if you think Hollywood's this fair, wonderful place where Black people don't get treated differently. What do you think, babe? It almost seems to me that Issa Rae, she knew what she was signing up for. And as Black people, we sign up for these spaces mainly because of the money, and then we complain about the spaces that we're in as if we don't have any choices.
Yeah, I mean, was Issa Rae naive? Did she really have these rose-colored glasses on about Hollywood and creativity being just about pure talent, or is she now has she always understood this, and now she's in a position where she's speaking out on it? Like, I don't think she could be that naive.
Yeah, I think that she always knew it.
Yeah.
I think what happens when we're young, and Issa's younger than us, so we have to give her grace on that. I think when you're young, you always believe that your generation is the generation where everything changes. Like you always believe, like, okay, my parents' generation, they were racist. Now Hollywood is opening up. They understand the talent of Black people. We can get better opportunities, and they're gonna treat us fairly. And then you find out, no, 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 no. White people never stop being white. It's not to say that they're all bad people. It's not to say that they wake up
It's the
and
system.
want to oppress Black people. Right?
It's the
It's a
system,
system. It's
right?
right.
Mm-hmm.
System. It's systems don't die easily. Culture doesn't die easily.
Mm-hmm.
So Hollywood is always going to look out for the interests of the people who created Hollywood, and that's basically people from the white and Jewish community. That's who they are going to serve and take care of. Black
Mm-hmm.
people, even those as powerful as Issa Rae or Steve Harvey, etc., you are just invited guests into somebody's home.
Yes, you are. That's interesting. And she's realizing that. I knew something was going on because she did get married recently.
Did she?
Right. Yeah, she got married recently. And
Okay.
she got married to someone who was just a really normal guy.
A
She
black
didn't
dude.
get, yeah, he was
Okay.
black,
Nice.
so she's a little off script with that part.
Oh,
Right.
that'll get you in trouble marrying a black woman marrying a black man. You might go to jail for that.
Yeah. Especially somebody. It is true. Like it looks authentic. It looks very real. She's very private about um, about her personal life.
Mm,
And so again, she's sticking to her integrity. And she's not compromising like some of the other people who do.
mm.
And so she's a little off script. She's not following the script, boys.
Well, it does
It's
come
not
up.
good for her
It
in this industry.
it comes off that way, right? It
Hmm.
comes off that way, and I applaud the battle.
Oh
I
yes.
really do. I mean, I think that what she's trying to do is very noble, and I respect it because we know that there's so much black talent that gets ignored. But what I say is that instead of threatening to go independent, you should want to go independent. You know, one of the biggest problems for black people, the reason that we are always the subordinate to white America, you know, they're the alpha, we're the beta, is because we will say, we won't say, okay, we want to be equal to you. So we're going to go independent so we can build institutions that can employ the masses of our people. Because you'll never employ, you know, white folks will never employ 40 million black people. They can't do it. Um, instead, we'll say, if you don't treat me well, then I'm going to threaten to go independent. But if you treat me well, then I can still sit up underneath you. Even though maybe the situation calls for you to be independent. You know, think about this. How many black people in entertainment are more successful than Issa Rae? How many people are more successful than her, right? She is one of the leaders. So when you're one of the leaders, you, in my book, if you really are trying to really take your people to another level, you almost have an obligation to institution build.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's actually doing that for real. And her
Mm,
making that statement, if she's sending a message. Because you have to understand when she gets on a platform like that and she makes comments like that, there's multiple levels to that comment. You know, she is
mm,
sending a message to several different people on several different levels. That's what I think.
okay.
And we always have to see communication like that in that context. Issa Rae is not stupid.
Mm,
I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, she's not
mm,
stupid. I think she knows exactly what she's doing and what she's saying. She probably saw some things that she probably won't talk about, but you'll know what she saw based on her behavior. So let's see what she does.
okay, like a shot across the bow.
Oh, yes, it is a game. It is chess. She's playing chess right now,
Okay,
not checkers.
well, I hope she's playing chess
Yes.
because you know that I mean, and who knows? Maybe she is carving out some opportunities. I don't know how beneficial it is when we say we're going to clear the path for other black people. When to some extent, like Martin Luther King said, sometimes you're leading your family into a burning house, right?
Yeah.
Like what's better if I am a black man and I get a job at Burger King, and I say, you know what, I'm gonna hook up my whole family. I'm gonna get everybody on at Burger King. We're all gonna get jobs at Burger King. Is that it? So now we all working for Burger King, making minimum wage, you know, cooking this unhealthy food, and that's our whole mo. But we're still subordinate to Burger King. Maybe
Hmm.
the best way for me to hook up my people is to raise some money and create a burger joint, right?
Well, she's.
It's not gonna be as fancy as Burger King,
Hmm.
but it would create real generational wealth. You'll never create generational wealth if your whole family becomes Burger King employees. But you can create generational wealth if your family owns a restaurant.
Yeah, if anyone can do it, Issa Rae can do it. She
Right.
can do it. I mean, you know, it reminds me a little bit of Dave Chappelle. Remember Dave Chappelle, who got a lot of street cred because he turned down that money, and the backlash of Hollywood against Dave Chappelle and some of the stories he's told about supposedly not putting on a dress and so forth. And now he is just all into Hollywood now. I mean, Hollywood loves him, respects him. He's gotten all the awards now. And I'm like, wait, I thought this was the same system that ousted you. Is this a different system now, Dave Chappelle? Like, he has to come back and explain.
Mm.
I don't think he's done that yet. So is he still, can we still look at him as somebody with integrity? Has he been compromised? I don't know.
Well, you never know.
You
But
never know, right?
by the way, everybody, you're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins, and Dr. Alicia's website. As you hit the thumbs up button, if you could please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. This podcast is on Spotify, so if you look up Boyce Watkins on Spotify, you can find the Dr. Boyce breakdown, and I put our Pillow Talk episodes there. Also, if you, I have this book. If you're interested in love and money and how love and finances mix together, I have a book called Financial Lovemaking. You can get a hard copy by going to drboycebooks.com, or you can go to Amazon and pick up a copy, either one. And also to get information from Dr. Alicia on mental health and wellness, as well as you can actually get a free e-copy of this book by texting the word wellness to 87948. Text wellness to 87948. 87948. All right, so let's get back to Issa Rae, and then you and I got to take the little one to school because she missed the bus. All right, so here's another quote from Issa Rae that I thought was really interesting. I'm gonna read this to you, and then I hope everybody can see it. She says there aren't a lot of smart executives anymore.
Mm.
And a lot of them have aged out and are holding on to their positions and refusing to yet let young blood get in. Now,
Mm-hmm.
these conglomerate leaders are also making the decisions about Hollywood. Y'all aren't creative people. Stick to the money. The people that are taking chances are on platforms like TikTok. That's what's getting the eyeballs of the youth. You're killing your own industry. What do you
Mm.
think?
She's right. I think she's right. I mean, I don't know what she's going to do about it, making that statement, but I think she's right. I think there are, I think television is disconnected and antiquated platform. And yeah, I do. I think TikTok and all this other social media. What's going on? Oh,
Oh,
that's
the
the
roofers.
people. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
we
that's the
got the.
people on the
We're getting
house.
the roof fixed, so we're suddenly hearing hammering on our roof. It
Oh
was.
my
I thought it was
goodness.
one of the kids. I was like, "How are they stomping on the roof?" Like,
Yeah, but it's the siding. It's they're just messed. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
gonna be a
anyway,
bumpy day today.
oh my goodness. So yeah, I think she's got a really good point. She's saying you're losing control of everything. You're losing control of the narrative because you're so old and antiquated. You want these same formulas that's always worked for you. It's not going to work anymore. You need to stay fresh and current and hip. And that's why your ratings are going to suffer and TikTok ratings won't suffer.
Okay,
It's a message.
she's right, 100% right, and I think that she mentioned money, and y'all know that perks my ears up when I hear the word money, because money drives everything, right? Because think about this: Issa Rae is a talented black woman who really loves black people. At least I believe that that's who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Why is if you're this talented black woman who loves black people and want to tell black stories and want to give opportunities to black people, why are you hanging out with crusty, weird degenerates in Hollywood? Why in the world would what other reason would you be out there with those people? And when you could be in Atlanta somewhere, kicking it with nothing but black folks and making telling black stories all day long.
Well, she
Well,
has been.
she has been, but
She has
still,
been kicking it with black people.
yes, but she's still part of the Hollywood infrastructure.
She is.
Right. Well, why is that? It's because it must be the money. Remember Dion made the song?
Yeah.
It's the money. It's the This is what
Hmm.
brings black people out of our element. This is the money is the only thing that makes other people makes us feel like other people are more relevant than us. Because when it comes to creativity, we're the originators.
They need
We're the
us.
talent, right? They look to us whenever they want to do something really innovative and interesting. They go to us and they buy us. We traffic ourselves. We traffic our children. We
Yeah.
sell ourselves.
And whenever there's an agenda, any sort of social agenda that's pushed, it has to go through black people. I mean, think about it. Fashion, they look at us. Music, they look at us. Um, Entertainment, they look at us. The creativity, they look at us. Even their own agenda, they realize they have to go through us in order for it to be interesting and catchy and relevant.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to be catchy and relevant. So I'm gonna go buy some Negroes, bring
Yes.
them to LA. I'm gonna do a Jackie Robinson. This is what Issa needs to understand. Issa, are you listening? I need you to hear this
Yes.
real quick. The reason your community does not have the same amount of economic power as the people that you have to serve is because they do a Jackie Robinson on you. The Jackie
Mm-hmm.
Robinson is they go to the black community. They don't come and elevate the community. They don't come and elevate the masses. They're not coming in and saving the hood. They're coming in and they're grabbing the most talented people and they're pulling them out of the hood. They go and they grab your smartest and your best and brightest and they cherry pick. And that way, and then the community's left with nothing. It's dilapidated
Nothing.
because your talented people are all off serving other people when
Mm-hmm.
really they're supposed to be the leaders and champions that develop the infrastructure that pulls the black community out of its rut. Institution building it takes time to do that. It takes long-term commitment. If you look at the way the McDonald's brothers built McDonald's Corporation, it took years of commitment. UPS was started by two teenagers delivering packages on their bicycle. Sam Walton had to sacrifice and raise money to build Walmart. Do we have that same spirit and energy in our community? No. Our energy is I want fast money right now. Give me the best job. Who's the white man paying the most money? I'm gonna go work for him. Don't matter if he's a bastard. Doesn't matter if he's a racist. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. We will go and we will serve Massa because Massa writes that big check.
Yeah, so it's a survival mechanism, and we have to look at it with some understanding and compassion. You know, I think that, right?
Absolutely.
We do have to understand that. But at the same time, where they cherry pick these black people, these black people have to be on their agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Not you cannot if the black person in Hollywood having your own agenda It's deadly because you're going to lose your good nigga sticker, right?
Mm.
And if she loses it, we know there are a lot of Issa Raes out there. Or
There
not
are
Issa Rae. What's her name?
it's Issa
Is
Rae.
it Issa Rae? Yeah, there are a ton of Issa Raes out there. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So if you want to stand up and try to like, you know, stick your chest out and show some
Fight the
pride,
power.
you show some
Fight
pride,
the
they will
power.
make an example out of you because
Ooh.
they can shape the narrative. They own all of the media.
They really will. They
You know
really
what I mean? They're on top of it. It is a beast of a
shout out to
lion that you're fighting against. It is a losing battle.
well, shout
She's
out.
trying to take down a big industry,
Mm,
and it's just not gonna happen. Just because she made that little statement, what is it? What you gonna do? It's like they're
mm,
gonna pull her punk card. Either she's gonna go, ended up being in Africa somewhere, escaping some mental health, so-called trumped up mental health crisis. Whatever
mm.
they do, it's the same formula. So she's drawn the line in the sand, and let's see what happens because time will tell. 2024 has been already fascinating. It's just February 2nd. Black History Month, day 2 into Black History Month, second month of the year. And I feel like this whole year has been whole bunch of the events have been happening. So let's see what goes on.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, I think from an
Yeah.
economic standpoint, my view of Issa Rae going into Hollywood and screaming and hollering and saying, "I'm going to change Hollywood," that's like somebody marrying an abusive, toxic spouse that will beat your ass at the drop of a dime and then saying, "I'm going to change him. He's a good man, y'all. I can bring that out of him." It's like, no, he's not a good man. He's the same man he's always been. And you're married to him and you're naive enough to think you can change him and stay married to him. Maybe you're going to have to divorce. And I would say overall that where everything you're saying is 100% true. These same media outlets that Issa is using to go after Hollywood, these media outlets are owned by Hollywood. They're controlled by Hollywood. So I could see them creating a narrative like, oh, Issa's on drugs and Issa this, or Issa's a terrible person. She was on the set and was cussing people out and beating people up. They can shape stories. They're masters at it.
Masterful.
Hmm. And
Masterful. And bring people out of the woodwork to come down on you. People
yeah.
people who are plant you don't think they have plants?
Mm. And why do you and I think and the question that I want everybody to walk away with as we finish because we gotta get Taylor to school
Mm.
is is what gives them the power to do that, black people? I want you to answer me in the chat. Everybody answer me in the chat. What gives them the power to create these narratives? What separates them from you? Issa's talking a big game, but talk is cheap. Talk don't mean nothing. It starts with an M and it rhymes with honey. What is it that gives them the ability to shape your world? It makes them the gods of your universe.
Yeah, I do think it is about the money, but let's just say it's more than the money. They have to control black people. These systems that are in place are there for the money because they use money for as a tool to get to their own needs met. But at
Hmm.
the same time, you got to think about it. It is a problem. They have to control not only the narrative, but they have to control the future of black people because we are so powerful. We don't know how powerful we are, but they know how powerful we are, and that has to be contained.
Yeah, we are. I think it has to be
The
contained, but
rise of the black people is what they're worried about.
well, I think I do agree with that, but also it just really all comes back to the money.
Okay.
The ability of black people to truly rise is going to come down to the money. Their ability to control us or harness. I don't know if their desire is so much to control us as it is to simply extract wealth where they see it. That's what.
Well, okay, there's
But
levels to
well, that's
this.
what capitalism. But that's what capitalism does. Capitalism says you got something I want. I'm gonna go over here and get it. Either I'm gonna finesse it out of you by
Okay.
giving you enough money, bribing it from you. And if I can't bribe you to give it to me, then I'm gonna just come in there and take it.
Okay, so that's interesting. You think it stops at money. I don't think it stops at money. I think money is a tool and it's what they use, but I think they are seeing the long game and they are willing to sacrifice their money in the short term and pull out of a deal that could have been lucrative for them. I think they're willing to sacrifice this because it is a big cultural war that we have going on, and it's a war for your mind. The war, this is what I think is happening. The war going on is the war for your mind. They don't care. Remember that one phrase, I don't care about what you do. I care about controlling how you think and how you think about yourself. And that is definitely influenced by your subconscious. That's why the images that you put out on television is so important for us to pay attention to, consciously pay attention to. And they will sacrifice money just to keep Black people in a position of subordination. I mean,
Mm,
just think about, I mean, come on, just think about Jonathan Majors. Why build him up to have him fall like that? Potentially losing money. You know,
mm.
why build him up like that? Because we have to see the Black man fall. Because we cannot have Black men powerful. He played such a powerful role. I was kind of like worried because I understand the agenda. And so if he continues with this powerful role and he rises up, guess what? Subconsciously Black men rise up. And we know that that's not the order of the day. That's never the order of the day.
Mm.
So they will sacrifice money and sacrifice opportunity because it is the narrative, it is the image of Black people that they know they need to control because we are that powerful. That's my story. It's bigger than money for me.
All right. Well, it's an excellent story,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let you get the last. I'm gonna let you have the
I
last
just
word on
said the
that.
last
Yes, you
word.
did. All right. So, I want to say thank you everybody for hanging out with us for this episode of Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. Dr. Alicia's website is coachingwithdralicia.com. She is a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. So, I believe everybody should have a therapist. I know I have one. I suggest that you consider the same. If you'd like to see what Dr. Alicia does, go to coachingwithdralicia.com. Also, you can text the word wellness to 87948 and get some links and information on her books and courses, things like that. Text wellness to 87948. And by the way, my name is Boyce Watkins, and I have some books. One of my books is The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And we also have a Black Business School for Children because our goal in the Black Business School is to give our kids economic superpowers at an early age. If you give them those superpowers and teach them how to raise capital, teach them how to build business, then they don't have to go beg Hollywood for anything. They can become Hollywood. And that's the vision that we have for the Black Business School. So if you'd like to learn more about our programs for kids, text the word youth to 87948. If you text youth to 87948, well, I'll send you links on how to get your kids enrolled and how to just sort of see what we got going on in terms of flashcards and workbooks. You got to teach your kids about wealth early, or they'll just be complaining on their jobs their whole lives and dealing with racism instead. I believe our kids need to be owners, builders, investors, and then that way they can control the narrative. They're going to be the owners of the HBO Maxes in the next generation. They're going to be running Netflix, right? Or the Black Netflix. That's what we need to do. So, anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This podcast is on Spotify. So feel free to look up my name on Spotify. You can find us there. And we're also going to do what? What's up, babe?
I just thought about Erica Alexander. Have
Okay.
y'all been watching her videos? She's been coming up on my feed because I guess the American fiction stuff. Like people are getting a platform. Did you hear some of the things that she also said, calling out Hollywood? Very
I
powerful
have
thing.
no
I'll
idea who
send it
that.
to you,
I don't know
boys.
who that is.
Eric Alexander? Erica from American Fiction. She played the girlfriend. Is that
Oh,
her name?
you
You
you're
know I
talking
can mess up a
you're talking about the
name.
lady from Living Single. Okay, got
Living
it.
Single. What's her name?
I don't know her name, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, the lady from Living Single.
Right.
I don't remember her name. She was on American Fiction. She played the girlfriend or whatever. She has been outspoken too about some of her experiences
Mm,
and how she wasn't able to get gigs and how powerless she was in the whole thing. And now she has this movie. So, gosh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, this is really interesting because it all ties into American Fiction. You
okay.
know, there is a cultural war going on with Black people in Hollywood. They want to have this counter narrative and try to expose the powers that be. This is interesting, but I know we have to go. But this is more of a conversation, boys. We need a part two of this discussion because now it's coming to me as we're talking about this how American fiction is really interesting.
Mm,
And I think it is okay, Black people, we not just about poverty and this sort of story. There's other stories. And there's refined, educated. Black people, and we also have a story too and our experiences. And maybe that's the position that Issa Rae, that's her name, Issa Rae, is coming from.
We shall see, because she was also in American Fiction,
And
which, by the way, is a good movie. Everybody
it
should
is a
go see it.
great movie, but I know we have to go. But I think we should do another part to this because I think there's more than we need to unpack.
Okay.
Boys.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we'll come back with that second part to Pillow Talk. Maybe we can find Erica Alexander's comments and address that. And so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Also, you can go to drboycebooks.com. If you look up the word Alicia, you can find some of her books on financial anxiety and workbooks on couples communication, things like that. And also, good news to everybody who wants to come to the All Black National Convention, which we have every year. We just got our venue. We're going to be at the West End. It's right outside of Chicago. I can't remember the name of the suburb though. I gotta look that up, but it's not in the middle of the city of Chicago. It's in a suburb, and it's going to be October 25th through the 27th. So if you want to come out, bring your family. The hotel rooms are very reasonably priced, and it's a very fancy schmancy place. So feel free to go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. All right, everybody, have a good day. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.